Why silence wins every time some people try to win conversations by talking more, explaining more, defending more. But the most powerful people do the opposite. They stay quiet. And the strange thing is, their silence changes how you think, how you react, and how you behave, without them ever saying a word. Why silence feels uncomfortable. Most people believe silence is empty, awkward, useless. But silence is not empty. Silence creates pressure. When a conversation pauses, the human brain panics slightly. It searches for meaning. It tries to fill the gap. Think about the last time someone stopped responding mid-conversation. No explanation. No reaction. Your mind didn't stay calm. You started wondering, did I say something wrong? Are they judging me? Should I explain myself? That discomfort is where silence begins to win. Silence makes you talk more than you should. Here's something most people don't realize. When someone stays silent, the other person usually talks more. Not because they want to, but because silence feels unfinished. Imagine you ask someone a direct question. They look at you and say nothing. No anger, no emotion, just quiet. You feel the urge to fill the space. You start explaining your position, justifying yourself, adding details that were never asked for. By staying silent, they didn't force anything out of you. You gave it freely. That's influence without effort. Silence creates unpredictability. People feel safe around predictability. They trust those they can read. But silence removes clarity. When someone doesn't react immediately, you don't know what they're thinking. And uncertainty creates imbalance. Your brain hates not knowing, so it starts adjusting your behavior. You soften your tone. You backtrack. You become cautious. The silent person hasn't moved at all, yet the power dynamic has shifted. That's why silence feels intimidating. Not because it's aggressive, but because it's unreadable. Why silence looks like confidence. Confidence is often mistaken for speaking well, but true confidence doesn't rush. A person who pauses before responding appears thoughtful, measured, in control. Think about interviews, negotiations, or serious conversations. The person who answers instantly often looks nervous. The person who takes a moment commands attention. People assume they're choosing their words carefully. They're not desperate. They know something. Even if that's not true, silence creates the perception of authority, and perception shapes reality. The dark side of silence. Silence isn't always used wisely. Some people use it to manipulate. They withdraw communication to avoid accountability, create anxiety, punish without confrontation. You've probably felt this before. Someone hurts you, then says nothing. No apology, no explanation. You replay the situation in your head. You feel uneasy. You start blaming yourself. They didn't argue. They didn't defend themselves, but their silence controlled the emotional space. That's when silence becomes a weapon. How to protect yourself. Understanding silence gives you awareness, not to fight it, but to recognize it. When silence appears, pause internally. Ask yourself, am I filling this space because I need to, or because it makes me uncomfortable? Sometimes the smartest move is to let silence exist, not to win, not to manipulate, but to stay grounded. Open-ended question. So here's the question worth thinking about. When silence enters a conversation, do you feel calm, or do you feel the urge to explain yourself? And what do you think that says about who really has control? If you've experienced silence being used this way, share your thoughts below.